覚悟はいいかしら。クリルバー。
You raised your whole life knowing how weak you might become in the future to suddenly prove yourself wrong is one of the greatest achievements. This happens in anime where a protagonist as well, where they face, hardship to become something they never thought that they would ever have dreamed of becoming. I'm back to recommending you all once again 10 weak at first but overpowered main protagonists. If you're new around here, then please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel with the notifications bell icon turned on to stay up to date with the latest anime news and recommendations right at your doorstep. Now, without keeping y'all waiting, let us begin with the video. I truly believe that a great way to start this list off is none other than with this very underrated shonen anime series from 2013, and it's Arata The Legend. Just like many shonen series, it's kinda like your typical style of a character who wants to save the world from disaster. The storyline is not that bad actually, but the main interesting style of the show is the switching between two different characters in two different worlds. It's pretty much an isekai series of a protagonist named Arata, a weakling who gets bullied suddenly, transported to another world, and let's just say he becomes overpowered thanks to a legendary sword he comes across and activated its powers. Wait, hold up. Pause this video for a second. Let me take you to a trip down memory lane and introduce you to the greatest mobile game and one that is currently dominating the battlefield. This video is sponsored by none other than Raid Shadow Legends. You've heard the name? I'm sure that you have, but have you ever managed to play it yet? If not, then you really should experience something spectacular for a change. Raid Shadow Legends is an MMORPG game with PvE and PvP content with a tactical upgrade system and also tons of epic battles for you to enjoy. Raid Shadow Legends features a variety of heroes for you to collect from different factions and level them up from, battling countless enemies until they grow even stronger to become an unstoppable force. That way you can take them into some epic boss fights and collect a bunch of gear to further improve your heroes and overall stats. The reason why you should play Raid is with 4 simple reasons that spell out the word Raid. Let me start with regular updates and content. It's endless, I tell you, as new heroes and boss fights never stop releasing, which will keep you playing this game for a very long time. There's also Arena, a place where you can take your heroes and go head to head against others to prove your might and show that you are a true legend not to be messed with. Third is Index, where you can see every champion in the entire game, what their skills are, and plan a strategic battle to win against them. And finally, this is the exciting one, Demon Lord, an intense boss battle and a way to earn daily rewards for yourself like shards and gems. You think that's it? Oh no, because there is more. Currently, Raid Shadow Legends is celebrating their 4th anniversary with dedicated offers like promo codes, free gifts, and also a fusion event to get your hands on legendary anniversary themed champions. Right now, you can use the promo code 4YearsRaid to get 4 skill tomes legendary, 4 energy refill, 400 energy, and 400,000 silver. Also for Amazon Prime members, I see you there. Keep your eyes out for the next drop with some powerful Savage gear available until March 30th. New players can use my link or scan the QR code right here on screen and get a free starter pack with this cool in-game loot to start your adventure. Download Raid Shadow Legends right now and begin your epic adventure. Link is in the description and also pinned in the comments. Must every show end without a sequel? But let's be honest here, Parasyte ended on a perfect note and wouldn't necessarily need a continuation. But watching this anime was something else, I tell you. Equivalent to a word I'd like to call badass. The protagonist Shinichi, powerless and weak, to suddenly gain mysterious powers from an unknown creature and falls victim to it and takes over his hand instead of the brain, which is what these creatures are actually aiming for. Basically, this creature or life form transforms into weapons that Shinichi can use to defend himself against creatures lurking around, and the two have no choice but to work together to pretty much stay alive in a world that is completely doomed. Nobody talks about this anime anymore, but it certainly is one of the greatest series I have ever seen.
命の星が消えてくのがわかる。胃が切り刻まれてくようだ。早く力を使って。
Now, how would you feel if the most popular, beautiful, and tall girl in the entire school falls in love with you? Well, I'd certainly be going wild, but in the case of the anime Witchcraft Works, there is a good reason why this girl is actually interested in a loser-looking protagonist in the first place. Ayaka is secretly a powerful witch, on a mission to protect the guy because he is like a key that holds great power and must protect him from other witches who desire his power and wish to just steal it away. It's a simple concept of, let's say, girl protects boy for the majority of the series and moments of ecchi or even obsession, but it all leads to power reveal and witnessing just how strong the protagonist truly is in the end. Beelzebub is a very funny anime, one that will make you laugh out loud due to how enjoyable it truly is. It's a basic storyline of a delinquent named Tatsumi in school who is quite feared among others due to just how badass and powerful he is as a human being. He also manages to actually find a little baby who turns out to be Beelzebub, the son of the demon lord. It's a strange duo to begin with, but a very unique one I really enjoyed watching a lot. Just know that this anime doesn't take itself too seriously as it involves a lot of silly things, but the overall approach works extremely well for the story being told. My Cultivator Girlfriend, part of the Chinese animation world, but also not a bad one to be exact, even though it's got such a slight of a weird concept with romance in it, of course. Basically, the protagonist steals part of the girl's powers and was forced to get into a little bit of a contract with her, otherwise he would end up being dead, and now begins his overall journey as a cultivator, only to then find out that he's actually got invincible power later down the line, which is the plot armor. It also gets, you know, it's got decent quality animation all around with cool fights and badass moments that may send shivers down your spine, but that's for you to decide. In the end, it's fairly underrated and one that many still haven't watched yet, and this might be your absolute one-time chance. There is no better underdog shonen anime than Black Clover, but let's be honest, when you think of a video title like this one here that you're watching, Black Clover most likely comes to your mind immediately since it's a well-known series at this point that perfectly describes a protagonist born and raised all his life without power. Asta wishes to become the Wizard King, the most powerful mage in the whole world, but with the way he is now, this is like a dream far from reach. The series perfectly portrays Asta's adventure after receiving his unique grimoire of anti-magic, how he goes from being a nobody to a magic knight many look up to, how he was put into the war squad in many people's eyes, which actually turned out to be, in the end, one of the strongest squads in the entire series. Now, if you thought that Black Clover was the only one you'd think of, how about something more like Danmachi, featuring a protagonist who ventures into the dungeon, barely able to defend himself at the start, to leveling up faster than anyone else, gaining new abilities and become stronger over the course of the anime's 4 seasons. But trust me when I say this, the 4th season of Danmachi is definitely my favorite, and if you watched it, well, you should know exactly why that's the case. Bell goes from being an underdog to gaining tremendous amount of fame, where he is nicknamed Little Rookie at first. He may have, a rookie title, but he is far more powerful than many characters in the show. Might I remind you just how, how he beat all these tough monsters that he fought? That is a sight I'd love to see once again.
山本。
Aura Koga Mariwin's Last War is quite an interesting series. I mean, even when I was young, I used to like to pretending to be a legendary hero of some sort, but I never did it at school, and that is where the story begins for our main protagonist who got bullied for actually pretending to be a so-called legendary hero. He actually faced a lot of issues and decided to, for that reason, leave his past behind and stop pretending. And it so happens that he actually runs into a girl wearing a robe who is also pretending to be a hero who gets the same treatment of bullying that he did before. But now, he wishes to protect the girl and break her from her imagination of being a hero so she doesn't get bullied anymore. And no perfect task like this can be accomplished none other than the protagonist himself. Okay, now I'm gonna be honest though. Despite the obvious low-budget production of this anime by Maho Films, I do give this anime props for at least trying something different. If you have ever stumbled across a show like this before, people would genuinely say to you to actually read the source material since it's 100 times better, but since many of you here are actually anime only, I guess you're just gonna have to bear with it. The interesting thing about this anime is that the students sent to another world can actually go back to reality, but for them to do that, they would first need to actually complete their tasks or missions, and dying would mean, likely result in them vanishing for eternity.
無力だろ木の棒じゃなんだよあいつ戦ったらダメなやつじゃねえか
You will witness a lot of the times, mostly at the start, how the characters a lot struggle to, cope in situations, but over time, they improve their skills and abilities to do better.
本当バカ
I'm really not a huge fan of mobile games, let me tell you that, but I do believe this one is different, more on the good side of things of being a great, wholesome, and fun show to watch. To end this list, here's an anime worth watching called Princess Connect Redive. This particular cute hidden gem is a mobile adaptation that I've grown to like, and I can say it's very enjoyable. The protagonist of the show is called Yuki, but keep in mind, he's probably not the one you should be looking out for since he's mostly the silent character, because he doesn't talk, he just says a few words and mumbles and stuff like that. However, the other three characters is the joy of the series, who are full of energy with different personalities, and that is what makes this anime, that's what drives it to being so much fun to watch. It's the success of the show. The anime has 2 seasons in total. I can happily say that it's a journey you guys shouldn't miss out on at all. Looks like you just made it to the end of the video and witnessed 10 weak at first but overpowered main protagonists. If I've managed to leave any anime out in particularly thought would be greatest on the list, then please let me know in the comment section down below, as I'd love to hear your very opinion, or just comment down below what you thought about the video in general, as I'd always appreciate the feedback. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one.